Welcome to another lecture of electronic devices. In this lecture, we are going to cover design of resistor. So, a resistor is an integrated technology. Is made of a thin strip of resistive layer. So, in this figure, we can see that it is a typical structure. A long sheet of resistive material is connected to a metal terminal by two ohmic contacts. The body of the resistance is electrically insulated from its surrounding by an oxide layer or by a reversely biased junction. So if we assume that sheet resistance is given by R square, the total resistance, then R is given by R equal to twice R cont plus L upon W R square, where R cont is a localized resistance describing the ending of metal contacts. So these are the metal connection contacts. So the contact resistance value depends on the specific case. It can range from 10 ohm to 50 ohm. So the L by W ratio expresses the aspect ratio. Sometimes it is referred to as the number of squares since it is actually the number of squares that we see when looking down at the top of the structure. So we know that the resistive elements are mainly achieved by diffused layers N plus, P plus, N wells or by polysilicons, first poly or when available second poly. So moreover, we know that specific resistance ranges from a few tens of ohm per square to few kilo ohm per square. Therefore, it is not difficult to achieve resistance up to few kilo ohm, while it becomes a serious problem reaching hundreds of kilo ohm or mega ohms. So, this figure shows cross-sections of various CMOS integrated circuits structures. So figure A and B uses highly doped diffusion. Both refers to NMEL technology. The first utilizes N plus diffusion achieved directly on the substrate. The other has P plus diffusion sitting inside the wall. So both of the structure insulations is ensured by reversely biased junctions. So we can observe that N plus and P plus layers contact the metal line directly, whereas the lightly doped diffusion of the well has interposed on N plus diffusion. This happens because lightly doped silicon to metal junction realize a rectifying structure, so we achieve a ohmic contact only with the heavily doped silicon to metal junctions. The reversely biased diode used to ensure the insulation of resistance generate capacitive coupling between the body of the resistor itself. So the substrate or the well, such as parasitic capacitance, in the normal case does not produce a significant frequency limitations. So it is necessary to deal with because the noise that it could affect the resistor. So we have seen that the spur signal often affect the substrate and the parasitic coupling. The noise reaches the resistance and worsen the circuit performance. So well layers offer a specific resistance that is larger than P plus and N plus diffusion. So therefore they are preferred when designing a large resistor. So figure C shows the basic structure of well resistor. Here we note that we have two highly doped diffusion that ensures ohmic contact at the terminal. Moreover, the insulation of the resistors from their surrounding is achieved by the reversely biased diode. The well to substrate. So for the kind of resistor, we have same problems of coupling with substrate as we discussed in the case of A and B. However, any shielding to limit noise injection is of course impossible. The only possibility is that we have to create a tight substrate bias placed around the well, so that is likely to drain spur signal before they reach the well. So the specific resistance of well is quite high. For getting the highly resistive layers, we can put complementary diffusion on the top of the well. So it reverses the doping at the surface. The resistance is achieved with the buried layer, which means the doping concentration is much higher than at surface. The resulting structure in this particular D figure is called pinched well, which shows a significant increase in specific resistance, that is from a few to several kilo ohm per square. So moreover, the conduction takes place in the bulk of the material, so we have a reduction of low frequency noise as well. So we can also design the resistors with polysilicons as shown in figure E and F. and G and H. Now the accuracy of the integrated circuit. We make the assumption that the resistance of the strip dominate the resistance of the entire structure contacts that should be designed to have negligible resistance. So we have R equal to L upon W R square, which can be equated as L equal to rho bar upon xj, where rho bar is the mean resistivity, L and W defines the number of squares, and xj is the average thickness of the strip. So we observe that the value of resistor depends on four parameters that are achieved with independent technological steps. So therefore, to estimate their accuracy, we assume that they should be statistical independent. The standard deviation of the resistor is thus related to the standard deviation by the parameter as given by this equation. So the structure used in the practice have a much greater length than width. This is because we normally need value higher than specific resistance. It follows that the contribution of the length is negligible compared to contribution of the width. So therefore, when we design a resistor, we should keep the width under control much more than the length. So we should remember that the accuracy of the geometrical parameter mainly depends on lithographic steps used to define patterns and on the specific and successive technological processing handling. The measuring result errors are undercut effect, boundary mismatch, and side diffusion. So pattern defined by etching does not correspond to a designed pattern. So we have errors in the fabrication of masks and errors in the optical apparatus. These limits are not listed as shown here because the most important limitation in the edge strips comes from the undercut effect. This is due to the anti-isotropic action of the etching. So a further source of inaccuracy is the boundary dependence of the undercut etching. Important point on the layout of the resistor concerns minimization of the noise injected from the substrate. So for this it is useful to put substrate biasing completely around the resistor. So it defines a sink for dispersed signals. Also, for well resistors, it is suggested that substrate bias should also be placed between the single branches of the resistor. This better guarantees the transversal insulation. So the lateral diffusion of the well in the worst case conditions may produce a slight overlap of the diffusion trails, resulting a transversal shunting resistance. The substrate diffusion employed compensates the doping between adjacent strips and firmly defines the p-n junction. The substrate diffusion must always be frequently contacted and connected to a metal line. So this ensures an equipotential voltage of the substrate which establishes a guard ring around the resistor. So for a poly or highly doped diffusion, we achieve protection using wells. The biasing of the wells goes all the way around the structures to catch spur signals as they cross the first ring of the substrate biasing. We achieve a double ring of the rejection of the noise injected from the substrate. Thank you.